Assalamu alaikum and welcome to English class with Kaisar Bashir. Dear students, like the previous videos, today's video is also going to be very helpful and very beneficial for you. And in today's video, I have selected another beautiful poem from class 8th English textbook, Tulip series. Dear students, get ready to note down all the important information and details about the poem for future reference. Dear students, in today's video, we shall study the poem Meeting Poets. I'll give the introduction about the poet and the poem. I'll read the poem for you. I'll give the detailed explanation of the poem. I'll also talk about the message or the theme that the poet has tried to highlight through this poem. I'll also talk about the literary devices that the poet has used in this poem. And finally, I'll give you the homework. Now, without wasting much of our time, let's get going. Well, dear students, our poet Eunice de Souza was born on August 1st, 1940 in Pune, and she died on July 29, 2017 in Mumbai, India. The students, Eunice de Souza was an Indian poet, critic, and an anthologist. In her poem, which is titled as Meeting Poets, she describes her experience of what she believed the poets are after she met them at different meetings and what they happened to be when she read their poetry. And this experience and this difference actually persuaded her to write this poem, which is titled as Meeting Poets. The students, our poet Eunice de Souza had judged poets because of their outlook, their straightforward talk, and strange disposition to be shabby, unruly, and uncanny. However, when she got a chance to read them, she found a world sad but beautiful in the poetry. And this world, as is most of the times very difficult to understand for most of the people. Meeting poets, I am disconcerted sometimes by the color of their socks, the suspicion of a wig, the wasp in the voice, and an air sometimes of dankness. Best to meet in poems, cool speckled shells, in which one hears a sad but distant sea. Dear students, before I explain the poem to you in detail, I would like to tell you that this poem, entitled Meeting Poets, has 2 stanzas. यानी ये जो पोएम जिसका टाइटल है, उन्वान है मीटिंग पोइट्स, इसके 2 stanzas हैं. And in the first stanza, our poet Eunice de Souza says, Meeting poets, I'm disconcerted sometimes. यानी हमारी जो पोइट है यूनिस de Souza कहती है कि जब भी उसकी मुलाकात शायर लोगों के साथ होती है तो कंफ्यूज हो जाती है. डिस्कंसर्टेड मीन्स कंफ्यूज्ड. यहां पे पोएट ने एडजेक्टिव को यूज किया है, राइट? और अब सवाल बनता है, व्हाई डज आवर पोएट यूनिस de Souza फील और गेट कंफ्यूज्ड? She explains it. Well, she says that she feels disconcerted sometimes by the color of their socks. यानी जब भी उसकी मुलाकात शायर लोगों के साथ होती है वो बिल्कुल हैरान हो जाती है, कंफ्यूज हो जाती है उनके कपड़े देखकर, उनके सॉक्स देखकर, उनके जुराब जो है वो देख के. Their dress does not look akin to their disposition, their style, right? And this means that poets are not serious about their dress code, okay? और उसके साथ वो एक्सप्लेन करती है the suspicion of a wig. ये वो लोग पहनते हैं जिनके सिर पे बाल नहीं होते हैं. Here you can see the wig, okay? तो यहाँ पे हमारी शायर यूनिस डिसोजा कहती है कि उनके जो बाल होते हैं दे आर नॉट सीरियसली मेंटेन, दे आर ऑल्सो अनकेम्प्ड, राइट। तो ये जो पोइट लोग होते हैं दे आर ऑल्सो नॉट सीरियस अबाउट देयर हेयर, ओके। और उसके साथ साथ वो मेटाफर यूज करती है, वो कहती है कि वास्प इन द वॉइस। और ये जो लोग होते हैं पोइट लोग, वो स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड होते हैं, कैंडिड होते हैं, क्लियर होते हैं, राइट। वो किसी भी सोशल स्टैग्मा, पॉलिटिकल स्टैग्मा पे बात करते हैं। दे आर नॉट अफ्रेड ऑफ any social, organization, political threat. They say whatever they think is right, okay। तो इसलिए wasp in the voice, तो wasp in the voice क्यों है? क्योंकि उनकी उस बात में तल्ख मिजाजी होती है, right। They are so critical about the social evils and the political evils, okay। तो यहाँ पे वास्प के साथ किन की वॉइस को कंपेयर किया गया है? पोइट्स की वॉइस को वास्प के साथ कम, क्योंकि वास्प जो है इट हैज एन एबिलिटी टू स्टिंग, ओके। ये डंक करते हैं, ये डसते हैं, ये चुभते हैं, ओके। एंड एन एयर समटाइम्स ऑफ डैंकनेस। और ये जो पोइट लोग होते हैं ये दे आर समटाइम्स अनप्लीजेंट व्हेन दे टॉक। डैंकनेस जो है दिस एक्चुअली शोज द अनप्लीजेंट नेचर ऑफ पोइट्स, राइट। सो इसीलिए ये जो पोइट है ये हैरान होती है, हमारी जो पोइट यूनिस डिसोजा वो सरप्राइज होती है जब भी वो पोइट्स के साथ मिलती है या जब भी उसकी मुलाकात पोइट्स के साथ होती है, राइट। However, in the second stanza, our poet makes a shift and says that if people want to know and understand poets in real sense, they must read their poetry. This is why she says, best to meet in poems. That is, if people want to know and understand poets, they must read their poetry, right? And these poems are what? These poems are cool speckled shells. Let me explain this phrase to you. Cool means peaceful. Speckled means colorful, having different shades. Shell is actually conch, which is most of the times used as musical instrument, okay। dear student, जैसा कि आपने सुना है पोइट्री जो है वो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स म्यूजिकल होती है, राइट। और ये एक आर्ट है जो खाली एक आर्टिस्ट यानी एक पोइट क्रिएट कर सकता है, राइट। स्ट्रक्चर कर सकता है, लिख सकता है। यानी पोइट्री जो है इट्स एन आर्ट विच ओनली पोइट्स कैन राइट, विच ओनली पोइट्स कैन क्रिएट। और ये जो दुनिया है, ये जो आर्ट है, इसमें आप क्या सुन सकते हो? इन विच यू कैन hear or one can hear what? A sad but distant sea. Once you go through the poetry of these poets, you can find a different, a beautiful world which most of the times is Greek to many people, right? Many people don't understand this beauty, this art. This is why the poet has changed her judgment, right? What she has thought about poets after she has met them, right? She has changed that decision after she has read them in their poetry, okay? So in the first stanza, our poet says that poets are quite different. They are, as far as their dress is concerned, their talk straightforward, candid talk is concerned, okay? As far as their hair is concerned, that has made the poet confused. But in the second stanza, she says that she has totally changed her decision after reading, the poetry of these, poets, okay? So this is a beautiful poem which talks about the art of poetry, which talks about people who are judgmental, right? And it says that we should not be judgmental, we should not judge a book by its cover, right? Dear students, let's now talk about the theme of the poem. Well, the major theme of the poem is that we should not judge people, here poets, by their appearances, as to what they wear or what or how they talk, because appearances can be deceptive. It's better to know and assess these poets by reading their poems. Similarly, we should avoid judging a book by its cover. This picture can make you understand the theme of the poem in a better way. Finally, here's the homework for you. Can you recall any teacher whom you thought can be harsh but turned out to be loving and caring? If there's one, write down a few sentences about him.